Hey guys, this is Asad Siddiqui again. I'm the owner and developer at iDesignSmart.com, and we provide customization services and WordPress installation setup and theme customizations for any of our clients. Today I'm very excited to be reviewing and giving you guys an in-depth tutorial of the new U-Design theme. A bit of a history. I have been really very impressed from the U-Design theme. It was one of the themes that I started with, and it kept growing. And it is kind of a revolutionary theme in my opinion, because when it came out, there were not many themes that would give you kind of the building blocks that you're looking for. Most of the themes would be like pre-designed templates, and all you could do is change content and images and that kind of a thing. But when I worked with this theme, I felt like there is so much that you can do. So just think of a WordPress theme as like a building block, or like if you have Legos and you know how to use them. So basically, it is up to you on what you want to create with the tool. So this theme, in my opinion, provides a great set of tools to work with, and you can customize it any way you want. So in this tutorial, I will go over the whole demo, and I will show you how to import the demo content and how you can go in from a plain WordPress installation to a similar look and feel. And then we'll walk internally and also show you some of the formatting and how you work with the theme. So let's get started. Okay, here what I have is a default installation of WordPress. I installed WordPress on my test server, a fresh instance, and I got rid of all the other junk like plugins and themes that come with the installation. So I have a nice clean backend, and I will show you how you can install the theme and the plugin. So first you need to go to Appearance and Themes, and then you can say Add New. And on Add New here, it shows you the free themes that WordPress repository has to offer. In our case, we'll upload the theme because we were working with a premium theme. So choose File and double click on the U-Design. And once you have the udesign.zip selected here, you can click on Install Now. In my case, the U-Theme development team sent me the theme to do the tutorial, and I'm very thankful to them for that. Also, if you are in the market looking for a domain or a hosting, I am affiliate with a lot of hosting companies. I particularly like personally HostGator, and I do recommend them. And the link to purchase hosting will be in the description of this video. So if you want to buy the hosting, you will get a nice discount, and I will get credit for the sale. So it helps me sponsor this kind of videos. So I will appreciate it. So now looks like the theme is installed, and without waiting, I will just click on activate, and this will activate the theme. So basically now I have successfully installed the U-Design Premium WP theme, and the version is 2.8.0, which is the latest as of today. And I'm making this video in late November, and you see here that it requires some plugins to work. So what we will do is we will go ahead and install these plugins. So I will select everything and I will click on apply, and it'll take a few seconds. Also, I did install the theme before and the plugins, but I use a plugin to reset everything, so you get the same screens as I do. And like some of this stuff, like I didn't go into my hosting and I didn't remove everything, so something might already exist over there. So this will take a second, and then I will show you how you can import the content. Okay, looks like the plugins are installed and everything is all set. So we are all set to import the sample content. So to import the sample content, you need to go to plugins and add new. And there is a plugin, all-in-one WP migration. So you click on all-in-one, not click, but type all-in-one WP migration and hit enter. And so once you do that, then the first one that comes up, which is all-in-one WP migration, click on install, and then you can activate this plugin. Because the theme comes bundled in with a lot of plugins, they do show you a message that if you want to get the version like the full license, you can go ahead and do that. Now I have installed the WP migration plugin, and you can see a WP migration option showing on the left panel. So what you can do is import, and once you click on import, it asks you for a file, like a XML file that you can import. I will click on the file, and then I can select what I want to basically upload. So here I'm gonna do the demo content which I downloaded from it is available on the theme support forum as well. And I am not sure if you purchase it from ThemeForest, you just get it with the package or not, but definitely from the support forum you can get it. So you double click on that, and then you have like, I'll expand this a little bit, a WPress file, and you can click on that, and now it is going to import all the demo content. So for my customization service, I do offer setting up the theme, setting up the WordPress instance, and setting up the demo content as well, or full customization. In case you don't have time to do all this, feel free to visit my website, and you can fill out a contact form over there, and we will get right back with you. So it's almost done now. And once it's done, it is going to pop up a warning saying your database is going to be replaced. I will go ahead and say continue. And you can do this if you already have a lot of content on your website, because it's going to overwrite all that data. So basically, if I open that folder where all my stuff is, if I open that folder up and go to this demo content directory, there's a readme file here which walks through what all needs to be done. So I will keep that open, and it is important to follow the documentation. So here it says you need a WordPress instance, of course, and then you need to activate the theme, install all-in-one WP migration plugin, which we did, and then go to site migration import and follow the instructions. Okay, done. When the import is complete, you must save the permalinks twice, and your username and password will be reset. So now I think it's done. It says I need to save the permalinks, so click on that. And because I did this already, temp-admin is my username, and the password should be here. You can go there, log in, and once you have logged in, I do want the post name, so I will save it once, and then I can save it twice, and then I will click on activate the plugins. What all needs activation, I will activate it. Okay, so looks like everything is done, and I have imported the sample content. So let's visit our site now. So when I go to the site, and this is how it looks. So basically, pretty much all the demo content has been successfully imported, and my page looks like this. And one thing that you would notice is the slider is missing. So the import also has instructions to import the slider. So okay, first thing before we do that is you can go to users and all users and create a new user, admin user, or change the password for the temp admin, or whatever you want to do, however you want to change it, so you don't have that information available to everybody. And then the second thing you can do is import the sliders. Like if you look at the demo content, there are import files of the slider. So there is slider 1 and slider 2 available to you. So you can do slider revolution, and this I believe is the new version of slider revolution. So it is slightly different than the old version, and I will probably make a video about this as well. So for right now, you want to import a slider, you'll click on choose files, import files, and then you can do slider 2 or you can do slider 1, whichever one you want. And once you do slider 1, you can click on import, and then it shows a screen where it shows you all the importing. And then once you are done your home page, you can change it, or it might be already be configured to use the slider 1. So I'll go back to the home page, and then I will refresh it and see if a new slider gets added to my page. And there you go, a beautiful slider there, and everything looks like it's configured and all ready to go. You have beautiful set of sliders, and then you have the default design. So now we can jump right into the page design and how you can come up with layouts. First, I will show you quickly how to edit the slider and how you can change things over there. So first thing, in the slider, you want to this is the slider that we are using. We only have one right now because we just imported one and we haven't created anything else. And it has like 5 slides, slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the slide that is being displayed. If you want to change like text and stuff, what you do in the New Revolution slider is double click on it and you can change the text here. So you can do that and hit on this and click on this little icon over there, and it's gonna update it. And then you can double click on that text layer, and then you can say anything you want. And this does support HTML as well. So you do that, click on that little thing, and then you can you see this BR, which is page break in HTML, so you can use those as well. So okay, so I will update all the text layers, and then for the buttons you can click on them and then modify where they go. So to do that, if I click that, you see that href over there, you can change it to anything you want. Right now we are going to the theme forest page where you can purchase the theme. I can just do like http:// so we are going to open that in a new window. So basically you can click on the buttons and change the HTML as well, and then you click on the little pencil. Now if you ask about how you are going to change the images or add layers to this slider and change text or style of buttons, basically you can select any layer, and then you can see that the colors, if your style tab is selected, then you can adjust the font height and styles and colors and all that kind of stuff here. And then you can also click on this plus sign that is going to display some more, so you can play around with these properties and it'll add custom CSS to your website or to your slide for the sliders. And if you want to change this image, this is the girl's image right here, this is another layer, and you can add your own layers, or if you have the images, and make sure that the images that you are using on your slider are transparent, and that will give you more flexibility, and the sliders will look very professional. And also you can animate all these things, like if you go there and click on the animation tab, it'll have different effects to choose from. So you can choose from these different effects. You can change the speed that the text comes in and all that stuff, and you can pretty much once you are done, it's very important to save the change, before you move on to the next slide, so you can make sure that everything is there, and then you can click on the slide 2 and make those changes. And if you want slide 1 as a template for everything else, you can just click on slide 1 and it gives you an option to duplicate, so you can duplicate that and then start making changes. So that is also a fast way to do that. Particularly, like, you can be creative and come up with your own ideas. Revolution Slider is a pretty neat and powerful plugin, so you can do a lot with it. And here, like, if there is anything that you want to delete, here you have a playable Vimeo video as well that it supports. You can do YouTube videos or audio or pretty much anything that you can think of. A good idea about the sliders is you can put a nice picture, transparent, and some text on the alternate side. So on the first slide you can put a picture on the left, and on the second you can put a picture on the right, and you can use like a different background and things like that. So I hope that it was that it was helpful for me to go over these videos. We'll jump right in to the page design now. So to edit the pages, what you need to do is you can click on edit page right here, and it will open the page up in WordPress editor, and there you will notice the two things, and the two things are you can do the edits by yourself, or you can use the Visual Composer. So if you use the Visual Composer like that, and then if I click on the backend editor, the WordPress editor basically gets converted to a UI that you can edit. And I don't have a lot of recommendation for Visual Composer. It can get slightly tricky if you're not really a pro, and I have used it with like some other themes that I have demoed, but this particular one I have not have a lot of experience with, but I have heard good things about it. So if you're interested, go ahead. I like the classic mode better, where you can style things with your shortcodes and everything that the theme supports. So it gives me more control, and I feel very comfortable working with that. So opening the page in a new window, what you will see is all the content that the page has. So here it says welcome to U-Design, and here it has a quote. Let's say that you want to display something else, you want to edit this text. What you want to do is to go there, and you can do this from the front end as well by clicking on edit with Visual Composer. That allows inline WYSIWYG type of editor that you can use to update. I don't use it because in my opinion it can create markup in your site that you don't intend for. So it can create additional markup that you don't need, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I would like to have more control over this, and then I can update all of these things. So here what we are looking for is welcome to U-Design. A quick way to search where my stuff is going to is the search, and I don't know, for some reason it doesn't seem to show that text, but we'll figure it out. So right now my page is so right now this page is starting from the first 1/4 column. So the first thing I see is the 1/4, and I'm sorry about that. It's been a little while since I used this theme. So this is where the page is starting from, and this is a special widgetized area that you can use. So if you go to appearance and you go to widgets, and I will open that in a new tab, and once this opens, there is a special widget here called homepage before content, and the homepage before content has a text widget inside of it, and the text widget can have any HTML that you want, and you can use shortcodes. So what the team has done is there is a 2/3 column with some text, and then there is a 1/3 column with the quotation. So what you need to do for the last is you use the dash last, and you use the dash last to indicate that a clear div will be added by the theme itself automatically, and responsive view will keep working. The 2/3 will have the H2 and all the styling there. So what you can do is where it says welcome to U-Design, I can change it to something else, and I can do my own styling if I want. I can change all this text if I want, and this gives me a good start. So I will just save this, and then I will refresh the page. So here I haven't, so now you see that this heading has changed. In the same way where it says we create interactive, modern, eye-catching, I can look at it right here. So if I want to change anything, I can just make the text edits. If I want something else or a picture or whatever, I can put the HTML in here to display that. So it gives me the flexibility. Why do we have this page section separate and the rest of it separate? And what do you do if you don't want to display this? If you don't want to display this, you can empty out this widget totally, and it'll take this section totally out of your page, of the home page. And this section, the theme is programmed to only display on the home page, so it will be displayed only on the home page. And then why there is a separate section is the theme also offers control over this section in terms of styling. So if you are using custom colors and stuff, you can go in the back end, and we'll touch upon that. You can use the custom colors to put a different color over there, different picture over there, things like that in the background. So it gives you more flexibility. So that's a good widgetize area to have. And then if I go to the page, it'll start from here. So the page starts from here, and you can start. So the 1/4 column is that, and then you see inside of the 1/4 there is an image. So you have an image, and then you have a div which has the heading SEO review right here. So the heading 3 is being used to style this text. A lot of people who are not very familiar with HTML prefer to edit the pages in visual mode, and it's perfectly okay to do that. My personal preference is to go to text mode because I need more control, and I don't want WordPress editor to create markup that I don't need. So for that, I go into the text view, and then I have complete control over how my paragraphs are being formatted, and how my shortcodes are being formatted, and how my headings are being formatted. So you can change anything here. And instead of SEO review, I will say WP installation. Similarly, for the second one, I can say okay. And basically, you have total control over the page. So instead of the 4 that are being displayed, you can use a 3 column layout or a 2 column layout, and you can put any picture that you want in the background and parallax and that kind of a thing. So talking about that, what you need to do is you can click on, like, I'll refresh this page. And once I refresh this page, you see WP installation, WP customization, and I can format this text as well. And the next section is a very interesting, nice looking content block. You see the difference here and here is these are 4 columns, and this is a full width background image. So one thing that the theme does offer, I believe it's called a fluid layout, and the fluid layout is 100% width layout. So if you use, like, if you go in your backend and you have page templates, I think that here we don't see a fluid layout. Maybe I'm getting mixed up with some other theme, but there is I think it's a theme options where you can go in and change the 100% width to be start from here instead of the default, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I particularly like this one better. So for the home page, it's 100% width, and for the rest, it's like mostly it's the internal or the default template. And I will talk about content blocks now. So content blocks give you the ability to have full width sections on your pages. So once you have the full width section, and we'll look at it here. So here you had the 1/4 column, 1/4 column again, and you can, as you can see, the 1/4 column here is it selected, and it has HTML inside of it. So you can use HTML, you can use custom CSS, you can use classes. You have a lot of flexibility here. So it's a nice building block, the column layout, and you can also change it with 1/3 or 1/2 or pretty much whatever you want to do. And if you're not sure about what all the things are, you can just, I will just show you how it's done. Is you can go there right to the end or bottom of this page, and you can hit the enter key, and then you click on this U-Design shortcode button. And once you hit the U-Design shortcode, it's gonna bring up the shortcode editor. So basically you can select what kind of columns you want. So you want 1/3 as opposed to 1/4. So you can do 1/3 and 2/3. You can do 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 last. So 3 columns with 1/3 layout. So once you click on that and say insert, it's gonna put 3 columns inside of your editor, and then you can start customizing them, putting your headings inside of them, and text and images and all that kind of stuff. So that is how you figure out shortcode. The other thing to do is to look up theme documentation, and it has a list of shortcodes that you could use. So I'll go back to my favorite text view. I'm sorry if that's bothering you a little bit, but that gives me more comfort in terms of what's going on. Here you see that a clear div is added, or you can also use dividers. And then after all my 1/4 columns, like after you're done, you can think of this section as a row. So like this whole thing is one complete row, and it has 4 columns, and the next one is this blue content block. So if we go there, after 1/4 stops and my div stops, there's a clear div, and there you go, you have a content block, and there are parameters being passed inside of the content blocks, and all this is documented in the theme documentation. What you need to do is content block. Currently we are not using any background image, and you can say max background width to yes if you want it to be a full width background as opposed to a background that has margins. So you can click on that. If you want parallax, you can say BG fixed yes, and BG position there. So parallax scroll yes, and it will give you a fixed parallax image. And it will also be great if you look up this content block and look at all the parameters and their values. So their possible values will tell you what you can do for the parallax effects and backgrounds and that kind of a thing. I believe there is one parallax here, which probably not here, but maybe on some other page. Maybe if you go to home page 2 example, you might see that, or home page 3 example. There was one with lights on it, but I typically like this format very much as well. So we'll just talk about this, and then you can explore the other page examples. So here it's using a different slider that we did not import. Home page 3 sample using a different slider. I don't seem to recall what that full parallax section was. And I think this is an example of a fluid page that I was talking about. So let's see what kind of layout they have there. So it's a full width page. So so you see that the margin top, this does the trick. So basically the margin top is going -32. I still don't think that's gonna do that, but maybe there is some trick that I don't recall now. So maybe I will add some more clarification in my video about that, but let's not get distracted, and let's keep talking about what we were talking about. So here you have the content block, and then you have color, which is 293037. An easy way to know or change colors and styles on your text elements or content block is to just open that with Firebug, or I am on Google Chrome, so I will use the Google Chrome tools, and you can right click on that and say inspect element, And once you do that, there is the color 293037, and if you want to see how different colors are going to look over there, you can like change this color, and maybe I like this better, so I'll click on that, grab this color, and then I can go back to my theme editor here and update the color to that. So on my content block, then there is a div which is center aligned, and it has H3 where it says need a solid theme you can count on, look no further. So I go there, and there is a H3 center line where it says need a solid theme you can count on, look no further, and some text that is displayed, and then there is a list. So then there is this unordered list that has all the elements, and this kind of layout is pretty useful if you are trying to add a section that differentiates you from the competition. So why choose us, or like why select us, or why our service, and things like that. And you can use a similar kind of a look and feel and put a nice image over here to make it look aesthetically appealing. These two buttons, you can see that the shortcodes, button shortcodes are pretty well done in the theme. So you can use a button like that, and it's called a flat button, and see the list of features, and then you can program it to go to any URLs. You can define your own padding and spacing and that kind of a thing. It's really fun to work with this theme and to explore new things that are out there, and the development team keeps adding or improving on this all the time. So it's really, for me, it's really fun to work with. The next section is kind of similar, and I think we do understand what's going on now. So there will be another section after that. There you go. This is one half, and then there is flat button, see list of features. This is from the previous column, and then the one half last inside of the div, that is the second button. Now the content block ends over here, because you see the forward slash here. The next content block starts from here, and it has a 777 in the background. You go there, and this is the next section. It displays a 3-column layout. So maybe you don't want to display that, get started from here, and then you can display that, or you can have a 2-column layout. So it's up to you how you think in terms of columns. It is very important in a responsive setting to have your layout right, and it looks very visually appealing. So for example, if I resized my window, and now I've resized my window, and you can see how it's going to look in the mobile display, and you can see that it's beautiful. And one of the great things about this theme is how well it works in responsive views, and how well it works on mobile devices. So you see how all the content is formatted beautifully, my content blocks, and all the different columns that I have on the pages. So right now my responsive action is set on the page. So I think you got a fair idea on how to work with these things. And if you want to get started, what you need to do is to just think in terms of sections. Once you have the sections, think in terms of columns. So you can divide the layouts and columns, and always use uniform sized images. So once you do that, it makes your task easier, and the page will look good. The images here are also can be transparent, so they don't display any backgrounds, and that way they look more attractive. So that all being said, you'll need a little work with your images, or if you're purchasing images, make sure they're in the PNG formats, and they are transparent, so they don't display backgrounds. So all these orange colors and button colors and button, they are also customizable, and you can style all of that. So again, if I go to the edit page, you will see spans for colors and styles defined inside of this shortcodes for buttons that you can easily change if you have a different logo and color scheme. So here is an example, the flat button text. It's using a BG color of transparent, and a border color of this, and a border width, padding defined here. So you can change all that to achieve a different or unique look and feel for your site. So that all can be done. This is again a content block, and this is also a full width section. I believe it's a content block with 2 columns inside of there. So it will be 2 divs inside of a content block or something like that. So now we are looking for a multi-dash purpose. So I will just do a control F and say multi-dash purpose. There you go. There's the content block, and then there is an H3 inside of there that says get U-Design multi purpose WordPress theme on WordPress, and then there is a button. So by default it looks like if you have a content block, you can use a H3, and then you can have a short code for a control or a widget like a button, and it displays like that. So you can do all that. Of course, you have the option to write custom CSS. You can go to appearance and editor and define your own styles and change colors and that kind of a thing if you are into that. So you can do all that, and your page will get the updates, and you can see it live on the home page. Now about the footer, this is a standard WordPress. You can go in your widget section, and your bottom sections will have the footer widgets or elements inside of it. So here you see a 4-column widget. You can also change it to 2 columns or 1 column or 3 columns or however you want it to be. You can put a contact form here by using form plugins like Contact Form 7 and stuff like that. And you can use anything that's available to you. You can use custom menus. You can put in a text block and provide some introduction, and that is it. So now we will touch briefly on the options that are available to you and some things that you can customize. One more thing that I would like to show you is if you go to the portfolio section, there are a bunch of portfolio styles available, and how your blog posts for the portfolio will be displayed. So if you go in portfolio and you say a 2-column portfolio, for example, here you have a 2-column portfolio where the featured images from the posts are being pulled. You can also do a 1-column portfolio, and only 1 column will display with text. So now you have this is being pulled from a blog post that came with the sample content. You can have your own, and the image dimensions are defined here. So you can select your featured images with that dimension, and they will start showing up here. So that all is done for the portfolio pages. The setup is inside of the theme options. So let's go over the theme options. Okay, now that you have a good idea of how to edit the content, add your own sections, how to use different shortcodes and theme documentation, it's time to touch upon the options. And to do that, what you need to do is to go to the dashboard. And once the dashboard opens, you should see at the bottom there's a U-Design icon over here. So you can click on that, and then it opens the options panel for you. If you have never visited these options panel, or you are not familiar with that, it'll display like that. So it is categorized in terms of options. So all your layout options will be under layout, menus, general, footer, statistics, and responsive layout. So I will get started with the responsive layout because that's the first thing that is great about this theme. So you can expand these options, and you have to check mark this enable responsive layout to make sure that you are using a responsive theme. And you can select like make different changes here. So if you need a different logo, you can upload the logo by clicking here, and then you have to select the height of the logo. And then if you don't want the secondary menu, you can click on this checkbox. If you don't want to display the slider on the responsive view, you can click on that. You can remove the background images for like boxed, or if you have margins, you can remove that in the background. And then you need to select the responsive menu, the menu that you're going to show on the mobile, and then you can disable the pretty photo as well. Although I should admit that I'm not very familiar with what this is. I think pretty photo is used for like a lightbox effect, like it is saying here. It'll be disabled. So if you have an image and you click on it, basically the lightbox effect will put the photo in a box and gray out all the things in the background, so the focus is on the photo and it looks more prominent. And this theme uses that to display like blog and portfolio images. So I believe that is what it is, and that does the responsive layout sections. I'll get started from the general. Here you can change things like the logo, so you can upload your logo as opposed to the default that comes with the theme, which is the U-Design logo. And once you do that, you need to also change the dimensions over here. So you can say upload logo, and then you can click on upload files and then select your logo from your computer. And once you do that, make sure you update these icons. And how you know what these are, basically if you select the logo, then it will tell you what dimensions it is. Like for example, let's say this was my logo, so when I click on that, it tells me what dimension it is. So you need to update the dimension over there in the link dimensions position. You can put the logo in the center as well. And if you do, then you will I think your other options might have to be adjusted as well for the header. So I'll open this theme up, and if you have to make modifications to the theme where you have to do something totally different in the header section, then you'll have to install a child theme, and then you have to modify header.php, and there are a lot of options being checked from there, so you need to adjust that and make your modifications. So in the tagline, usually like underneath of the logo, there is some text that gets displayed over here. Typically, I've never done that, but if you want to display some slogan kind of a thing, then underneath the logo, then you can display that tagline, and you can control its position. There's a padding underneath of the header section that you can specify. So the font size is for the tagline. Don't mix it up with the body font size, and the font size will be 12px for the slogan. Top area height 51 pixels. I believe this is the height of the white section here where the logo and the menu is. So if you change that height, you will start seeing, for example, if I go in here and make it like 150 and save changes, now you'll start seeing this area will increase in height. So that is like, for example, if your logo is much bigger and it needs to take this much space, and then you need to do that, and then you need to adjust the height on this menu as well. So right now I'll go back to the default 51 pixels. If you want to, you can have a search box displayed in your theme, and you can enable that if you need the search bar. Otherwise, if you just need a search capability in your blog post, you can use a widget for this purpose as well. Call to action, phone number identification on the home page. You can also display on the right hand side your phone number and contact information. So if you're using a bigger logo and you don't know how to use up that space, that is a good one to use, phone number identification. And basically you can write HTML inside of it, so you can format your content inside of HTML as well. Feedback button that gets displayed right here. It's a very catchy U-Design thing that it is always there, and you click on it, it goes to your contact page, I believe. So it goes to my contact page that got installed with the sample content. So I will go to the back button and go back to the options, and you can fix this position or not fix the position. If the position is fixed, then it won't scroll with the page, so it looks kind of cool. So I typically don't want to, I want to fix the position. Now there's a section for pretty photo here. Pretty photo, enable pretty photo lightbox script. What this does is, I think if I go to, for example, 3-column portfolio and I make this bigger, now you see that a photo pops up and everything is grayed out in the background, and you see this slideshow effect as well. So doing that is I think controlled by pretty photo. So if I don't do this and change this, then there will be different things happening over there, and you might not see that effect. So that, and the gallery thumbnails, once again I will go there and maybe instead of dark rounded, I will say light rounded this time. Save the changes and go back to my portfolio pages. So I'll refresh this page. So my option is red, and click on this, and now you see that there is a white background as opposed to a dark background, and the thumbnails are showing here. So to enable or disable these thumbnails, you can click on mini gallery option, and then the general show breadcrumbs pages in U-Design theme show this navigation here. So in link, like where are you at the current position, it'll always tell you, and you can, this feature is called breadcrumbs. You can enable or disable it by clicking or unclicking the box here. Smooth scroll is basically for single page sites. So if you have anchor links or that go to the same page or scroll downwards on a page on a single page site, then you want to use the smooth scrolling. So you can control that. Custom styles I always enable because I want to be able to use the or edit the styles.css. If you need to make other changes other than the styles.css, then you will need a child theme. Menu options, stay on top menu is like what it's called a sticky header in a lot of different sites. So basically if I scroll down on this page, you still see a menu bar here and you still see the logo. So the sticky logo is different, and there's still a menu displayed. So that is controlled from here. Stay on top main menu logo optional. So you see that a different U-Design logo is being used here, which is the UD, as opposed to it'll become U-Design when I go there. So usually it's a smaller logo, so it's less wider. Okay, and like these few options are pretty self-explanatory. So they add like a shadow and change the menu alignment, vertical positioning, auto arrows, and border under the menu. So that said, the other important ones that I really wanted to show you is the custom colors and font settings. So those are the ones that you might be very interested in changing. Layout options, title position, page title, title position 1, 2. So you can change these, and this page title is going to change. So based on the selection here, you can select the title. Instead of this bar, it will be a part of the main body as opposed to the header. And you can also remove the title SEO friendly, and you can remove the title completely. So the Google documentation or the Yoast documentation basically says that you need to have one H1 tag, which is the heading 1 tag in the page that describes what this page is going to be about, and your key phrases. So one H1 tag is necessary, but if you don't like it and you don't want to get completely rid of it, then you can go with the remove title completely option. So if you use homepage column 1, then you can set the width of homepage column 1 as 1/3 here, as opposed to 2-column layout. So they explain this option. In other words, having the first widget area homepage column 1 in a combination. So okay, so you can go to appearance, and there will be a widget for homepage column 1, and basically you can use it for the whole row or the whole section, or you can use it as a 1/3. So homepage column 1 is here, and as you can see, there are like 3 widgets inside of it. So those 3 widgets, but we are using a homepage that is designed inside of from our page. So those options will be taken into effect. Default sidebars, you have total control on the sidebar, and you can configure different sidebars to be in different position. So this directly relates to the page template. So the page template you're going to use will specify where the sidebar is going to be based on what page template is configured to use the page sidebar on what side. Okay, so the fluid layout that I was talking about, all the options are here, and you can configure a different global theme width here. So if you go to the demo, you will see an option for the fluid page, and you can you can use a different width on the page, so this will look more wide. So as opposed to the columns being starting from here, they are all the way to the left and all the way to the right, and you have very minimal margins to work with. So that's the fluid page, and that is the option. Global sidebar width is 33%. Now the important one is font settings, and this theme completely supports Google Fonts. Here we are configured to use Roboto. So we have Roboto and 13 pixels, and you can use any other font that you like that, or one of the good ones that I use a lot is Lato. So this one was configured to use Roboto, so I'll put it right back as it was, and you can change the size from here. So instead of 13, if I said 15, then the body elements or wherever I don't specify a size in my HTML will change. Top navigation menu applies to like what font is being used for the menu, so you have total control on that too, so you can change that. And you can also specify in terms of EMs what size is going to apply. Custom colors is the next option, and if you enable it, you have total control over the colors of the theme as well without doing any CSS. So general text and link colors will be configured like that if you imported the demo content, but it is up to your branding and how your logo is and what kind of palette you're working with will specify what kind of colors you want. So general text colors will be like that. Top section area colors apply to this header bar. So your menu, not the menu, I think the top section color, yeah, the background is white, so the background is white, and the foreground text color will be that. So I believe that is your menu text color. Main menu colors are here. Background color white, so it matches with the background. You can change this and it will add transparency or not add transparency. You can change the colors of the link, like hover colors of the menu from here, and the active page color for the menu as well. And you can change the drop down options here as well. Secondary menu colors, I think secondary menu can be configured to be a widget or be at the top or something like that. So if you are using secondary menu, then you can change the colors from the secondary menu colors here. Midsection colors, page title color, you can control it, page titles and page backgrounds. Header slider background color, we are using a slider, so basically we can use pretty much any color we want. Homepage before content widget. So homepage before content widget is this area where I say welcome to iDesign Smart, and you can change the background color, and then you can also, like I showed you how to update these things. Text color by default is this, and the background color will be this FA. So you see it's not really white, it's slightly different than white, it's a grayish white. Bottom area colors will be that. Bottom area applies to your area before the footer. So this is the bottom area, and these widgets are called bottom 1, bottom 2, bottom 3, bottom 4. So you can style it and you can put different widgets over there. You can style the headings differently, links differently, so all that can be controlled. And this social media icons you can achieve by putting a widget, text widget inside of your bottom 3. Footer will be this, so the links on the footer and the text on the footer and hover color will be different. So once you go to the bottom, you'll see footer area colors, and you can change that as well. And if you don't know what these codes mean, they are hex codes for the colors being used here. So you can go to like any color wheel, like Adobe has a nice color wheel that gives you color selections and color palettes. And if you want to know what color is, you can just right click on the element and display inspect element, and then you can see the color code right here. So instead of that, if you wanted to change it to something else and see how it's going to look, you can decide what it's going to be here, and then you can grab the color code from here and put it in this box. Background images, I typically don't make use of a lot of background images, but if you wanted, you can always have a background in the footer, in the bottom area, main content, page title. This one is a good one, so you can use the background over here. And then you have some administrative tasks. Front page sliders is also a good one. Right now we are configured to use revolution slider. We have all the other options as well, like cycle 1, cycle 2, peacemaker, and flash mode slider. But the best one and more flexible one by far is the revolution slider. So also on the home page you can configure what slider will be displayed, and you can, right now we have slider 1, so it uses slider 1. So if you don't have this, you will need to set up this revolution slider, save and activate, and then this drop down will show what kind of sliders are available. Portfolio, different portfolio pages can be set up here. So the one column portfolio is assigned with 6 items per page to page ID 143. So once you create the page ID, the page template of one column portfolio, then you come in here and basically map the pages with different portfolio designs that you have. So if you have different page that is set up with a portfolio layout, then you need to come in here and select what kind of page it is that you want to display the portfolio layout on. Portfolio title position, you can control that. You can display a sidebar on your portfolio pages, so you can configure all of that here. Blog section will be like how your blog posts are going to display. So if you go back and look at the blog, a lot of those options that are under blog options will be relevant to this, like how the images are displayed, how much text is displayed, whether the read more link is displayed or not, whether to show the admin information or the blog categories or comments. So stuff like that will be here. So here you see show post author, and author name is a checkbox. So you can select which ones you want to show and which ones you don't want to show on your blog by updating these options. And the featured image options on the blog will be here, so you can change the dimensions, like by specifying a width and the height, and the alignment of the photo. The contact page, like if you're using a default template for your contact page that the theme comes with, then those options can be like, these options can be controlled in from the contact options, and also where the email will be sent is also controlled by those options. So if you open that, then you can input these things inside of here, and then you can select if you want to display a sidebar, and then, or if you want to remove a sidebar, and then you can update your email address right here, and it's gonna start sending you the email on that specified email option. The footer options, copyright messages right in the footer, so it should be like that. And right now it's showing 2014 U-Design and is probably powered by WordPress in the footer, so you can not display that and update this to whatever you want. Show theme forest link in the footer, you can also choose to not display that. And you can right now I think it's an affiliate link that the U-Design design team, basically they updated their own. And you can also display the RSS or comments in the footer, and if you check box 6, you'll see 2 icons to subscribe to RSS feed for your blog. Statistics, you can update your Google Analytics code here. Once you sign up with Google Analytics, they'll give you a section that you can put in the header section. So once you update this and save changes, that will update your site for Google Analytics. So this is pretty much it. If you have any questions or you need suggestions on your layout, feel free to comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, my website is idesignsmart.com, and if you don't have time to do all this, or you need a professional service for customization, feel free to stop by and fill in my contact form and I will get back right with you. Thanks for watching, and until next time.